Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today, but before I begin I want to say that may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And today happens to be Tanit Esther. It is Thursday, March the 13th, and it is, I think it's Yud Aleph Adar Beit. I think so. I think I got my dates right, hopefully. If not, I apologize. And I want to also thank some people who have helped me on my journey to get where I am at in my life today, and always looking to do better. And they are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, and I will have links to all their sites that you can actually access the information that I have. And I want to just say that mostly my most influence has been Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi and his website divineinformation.com. I've listened for the last probably few years thanks to my cousin Shira, and who got me interested in watching his lectures, at first on his Facebook page and then on his website, and I am hooked. I'm definitely one who passes along the information to people and share as much as I know, and I feel like the knowledge that I've gotten I'm actually retaining, as opposed to when I was a student in school, because I was studying and always had to be tested. I don't think I retained the information as well, because I was really doing it to pass my test or do well on my test, not lishma, which is l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven, for the sake of, getting closer to Hashem. So in that vein, that leads me to, perfect segue, to the title for today's video. And also I want to say, if you've never watched the M.L.M for the Soul channel, then please do check out my first video, because on there I explain exactly what M.L.M is, what it stands for. Actually, each letter stands for something besides the traditional, what you know M.L.M to mean. So today's topic is called Re-Jew-venation. So you might know the word rejuvenation when it's spelled R-E-J-U-V-E-N-A-T-I-O-N, and I say R-E-J-E-W-V-E-N-A-T-I-O-N. And this is another one I came up with while I was walking to the Chabad shul on Shabbat, and it just dawned on me. It's perfect. Rejuvenation. We all need the time to get ourselves up, lift ourselves up, to get closer to Hashem. And hopefully we all try to do it every day on a day-to-day basis, whether it's with our tefillot or with some kind of kindness that we do, or even saying that, whatever I'm doing, it's for the sake of Hashem, for the sake of heaven, all the work that you do. So Shabbat is the day when we could really Re-Jew-venate, rejuvenation. So, and then I just thought of something right now, which is really cool. Again, not me, actually. Everything that I share with you is Hashem gives me the ability to say it and come up with it. So I just thought of another thing based on that word. So it could be Re-Jew-ve and then nation, like a Jew nation. So it's talking about the Jewish nation, that this is our time when we rejuvenate, is on Shabbat. So the Jewish nation, Re-Jew-ve-N-A-T-I-O-N, a dash between the V-E and then dash nation. So, that is our time that we have the most opportunity to get closer to Hashem, because we don't have anything else to be involved with, There's no TV, no computer, no phone, no car, whatever it is that you're used to doing on your weekday. So not on the Shabbat, the holy day, Shabbat Kodesh. So that's when we really have the time to basically get our spiritual groove on, so to speak, to really focus on that aspect of who we are, and with more intention, with more attention, with more connection, with just have a more kavana. Everything you do, even when you daven, take your time. There's no rush. You have no appointments to go to. You have nothing like that. No work schedule. Nothing. Everything is basically gone. All that stuff is, and we don't even think about it. It's a lot of times very hard for people to let go of the day to day, even on Shabbat. And it's funny because a lot of times in the shul, people don't always see each other during the week, so they see each other on Shabbat, and they figure that's the time when we'll catch up. But the problem that I have with that, and I really stay away from it, is that it ends up being spoken about are things that are chol, like, housework and this and that, things that don't apply to Shabbat. And because Hashem rested on Shabbat, that's our duty. We need to follow what He does. So that's what we want to do, is we want to rest the same way. Only talk about Shabbat, only talk about Torah, only talk about Hashem. I know it's very hard. I've had people approach me and ask me certain things, and I tell them, I stop and I say, I don't talk about that on Shabbat, and that's it. I end the conversation there. And a lot of times people, I don't know, not everyone is able to discuss Torah and mitzvos and things like that on Shabbat, but that's what we're supposed to be doing. That, and talk about the parasha, find something interesting, talk about one of the people in the Torah that you think is very interesting to you or that you connect with. I mean, it could be anything. There's no particular thing you have to do, but it should, except that you talk about things related to Shabbat, and that's it. And even what you read should be related to Torah. You shouldn't be reading just general books or magazines, because, I mean, as a fact goes, I don't read any of those anyway, and I'm really disconnected from that world because it really doesn't serve me. There's no purpose in it. If I want to really rejuvenate, the rejuvenation has to come from the spiritual side. It does not come from the material, physical side, because that doesn't really add to your life. It really detracts from it, or takes it away from it, or lessens it. And people fall into that trap, and it's so easy to do that, because once you start, the Yetzer Hara just has a field day. He says, okay, it's all right, nothing happened, nothing bad, but it takes away, it lessens your connection. You're just moving on a downward way that is not going to benefit you in the end. You want to do everything you can to move away from that. And you're tested all the time. Everyone is tested all the time. But I know for me, I've given up all that stuff, and to be honest with you, I don't miss it. I don't feel like I'm missing out on something in life, because I'm not interested in movies. I'm not interested in regular books or newspapers or TV or gossip news. I go into a store and I see something, I'm like, wow, I don't know what's going on, because I'm really not connected to that. I'm really connected more with the upstairs world, so to speak. I mean, I still have to do things physically. I still have to eat and sleep and do the work that I'm doing and stuff like that. But for the most part, I disconnect myself from that, because I realize that, in the end, the only thing will matter is what we can give Hashem, following His ways, following the Torah, doing what we're supposed to do. Basically, everything else is nonsense, really, when it comes down to it. And I'm saying this just as much for me as for everyone else who's listening to this video, because it's important that we realize that. And that is why it's so important to really intently and try to really be strong about keeping the Shabbat as holy as you can. Holy in your thoughts, holy in your actions, and holy in your deeds. So those are the three aspects. Now, I find for me personally, the deeds are easy. I mean, you're not supposed to do the 39 malachos. We try to do our best with not doing those. Those are what we're supposed to not do on Shabbat. So that would be the deeds. The thoughts are hard. Thought, speech. I said action. I apologize. It's thoughts, speech, and deeds. Speech, I'm very good. I immediately say to the person, I'm not talking about that on Shabbat, and that's it. It ends the conversation. I don't pursue it. I don't I don't start a conversation like that. I just, if someone says to me, I just, okay. And the hardest of all is thoughts. Because thoughts keep running through your head a million miles an hour, a billion times a day. I don't know how many thoughts we have per day, but they just keep coming through our head. And of course, you have the Yetzer Hara on one side, probably, and the Yetzer Tov on the other, telling you things. And you have to say, oh no, I don't want to think about that. And it comes into through your head, like maybe you have to fly somewhere the next day, or an appointment or something. But it's not Torah related, so you have to kind of tell your thoughts, tell your brain, like, put that aside. Tomorrow is another day. I don't need to think about that now. It doesn't matter. It's not important. So the idea is to flood your brain with Torah only. So that's why you try to study Torah, so that your thoughts don't have a chance to come through, and actually you start to think about things that are not related to the Shabbat and Torah. So, and that's a good time, Shabbat too, to really talk to Hashem, personally, because you have more time than during the week. Most people during the week are so busy. So on Shabbat would be a better time to really spend time, talk to Hashem, thank Him. You don't ask Him really for things and stuff like that, but it's a time of thanking, a time to know that, wow, all these things, you look around, just look around your neighborhood. Like if you're walking around, you're going to shul and you have a nice walk, look at everything around you, the trees, every little thing you see in nature, everything you see around you is Hashem. And it's from Hashem. He's made everything and He knows everything. So it's all His. And you just could do that. You could just, you don't, if you want to say it out loud, or not that loud if people are around, but, thank you Hashem for this, thank you Hashem for that. Everything that you see is from Him. There's nothing that you can ever say that is not from Him. Of course, there's someone else who's maybe making the product, but the initial input has to come from Hashem for that person to make the product, whether it's the earrings I'm wearing, the scarf that's on my head, anything you could think of, the shirt I'm wearing. It doesn't matter. Someone had to do the labor, but the intelligence of how to create that was from Hashem. So getting back to this rejuvenation, or Re-Jew-venate, it's very important, because that's our time to really give ourselves a boost of for our ruchnias, for our spiritual uplifting. So be aware of that and really tune in to that part of yourself on Shabbat, because that's great. Like once you light the candles, it's like, wow, now you can relax. Like everything is done, no more rushing. You can relax, sing Zmirot, the songs, enjoy, tell stories about the parasha, or just discuss different things with your family, friends, etc. And just enjoy the day and really take that time to connect to that side of yourself that really is going to help you through the rest of the week. Because basically that's what Shabbat does. I know for me, when Shabbat is over, I'm kind of like not happy. I'm a happy person in general, but I'm just not wanting it to end. And it's like, oh no, now I have to go back to the grind, so to speak, like what I have to do, instead of like, I wish this would just keep going on and on and on. It's such a wonderful feeling to just enjoy that, to just be connected with that all the time. So I want to say in closing that may we all merit, with everything that we do, to rejuvenate ourselves, to live and to see the coming of the Mashiach speedily in our days. Amen, and thanks for watching.